Okay, foundation. So, since I already put that oil control lotion on as my moisturizer, my primer is going to be the Skin Refined Zone primer. I am really only oily in my T-zone area, and this really helps. I can notice a difference when I don't use it. It's also a treatment, so it gently exfoliates your skin, helping to shrink your pores, minimize your pores without clogging them. So a little bit goes on. A little bit goes a long way, so I just put a little on my nose directly from the tube. And I rub it in until it gets tacky. And I only put this really in my T-zone area, again, because that's the only place where I get oily. And my makeup tends to only wear off in that area. Alright, so we're going to be using the BareMinerals Bare Pro Liquid Foundation. Now, I used to work for BareMinerals back in the day, and honey, when I tell you liquid foundation was unheard of, it was unheard of. Put 2 pumps on my beauty blender. That's really all you need. This is pretty full coverage. I'm still trying to test this out and see if I like it, so I will let you know later. But so far, so good. Alrighty, so back at it again with my Studio Fix concealer. I'm going to begin concealing and slightly highlighting my face. So only places where I put concealer at are boom, boom, boom. And the only reason why I do that is because I feel like this concealer spreads pretty well. Well, I guess any concealer that I've used spreads pretty well. And I don't like a whole lot of heaviness going on, like on my forehead and chin and all of that. Like, I just, no. Like, we don't have to look like queens every time. Well, you know what queen I'm talking about. Black queens is always a crown on her head. But you know what queens I'm talking about. We don't always have to do that extra stuff. Now, some people do it beautifully and seamlessly. I just feel like me, when I get to doing all those lines all over my face, I start looking real draggish. You know what I mean? And I don't need that. So the concealer kind of just stays right here, and whatever I have left on the sponge, I'll put it in those areas, maybe. But especially since I'm oily on my nose, I don't like a whole lot of product right there either. Things start moving and coming up, and it's just not cute. So if you are like that, you might not want to put a whole lot of product in those areas, especially if you're oily in your T-zone. Your highlight is gonna start waving at people, you know what I mean? Especially if you don't set really well. See, I haven't added any more, just whatever's left, and it really didn't do anything, so I'm cool with that. So another reason why I like to use this concealer by MAC is because you don't have to set it. Now for me, I'm a very special case when it comes to under eyes. Or maybe I'm not, I don't know. I just like to think I'm special. But I oxidize a whole lot under my eyes for whatever reason. Still trying to figure that out. So anytime I put powder under my eye, maybe an hour or two later, it looks weird, like when powder oxidizes, but it only oxidizes in certain places. So I don't like to put any powder underneath my eyes. So the concealer that I wear has to be something that does not need to be set necessarily. So I stay away from creams. I stay away from anything that's will move or oily or something like that. I need something a little thicker that dries to either a natural matte or a matte finish. And this one dries to a more natural matte finish. But I blend till I can't blend anymore with this sponge until it becomes matte. So, with that being said, I don't set my under eyes. I don't do that baking stuff. I don't do it because it don't work for me. And people need to keep that in mind. Not every makeup trend works for everybody or looks good on everybody. Can we say that louder for the people in the back? For real. Every trend ain't for you, sis. Every trend ain't for you. Every trend ain't for me. You ain't gotta be walking around here looking like a piece of plastic because you saw it on YouTube or Instagram. And that's the reason for my channel. I feel like I want to bring a little bit more clarity. I want to bring a little bit more reality of things. And I am a working MUA that freelances and works at a cosmetic company. And I've seen a lot of stuff. Everything don't work for you, sis. It don't. And we're gonna figure it out together. We are. That's why I'm here to help. So let me stop talking. But I am going to set the rest of my face. So I like to use something sheer because I don't need anything adding extra coverage to this foundation. So this Pro Longwear Pressed Powder from MAC is the bomb. I'm using the color in Dark Deep. It's about time. Oh no, we got some time for a new one. There ain't time for a new one yet. The brush I'm using currently, not necessarily my favorite, it's just the one that I picked up, is the 138. My brushes, the numbers I'm wearing off. The 138 brush. I like this one though because it is angled and it can get into little cracks and crevices, but yeah. So again, I'm not setting the under eye. I'm just putting this where my foundation is. So again, like I said earlier, I don't do the whole cream concealer contour. It's not for me. So I like to just use a blush or powder, but this particular powder is a blush. It's from MAC. I actually use two of them. I mixed the two. This is Swiss Chocolate and this is Blunt, and I put them in this little palette because it's easy to travel with, easy to pick up. It's easy. Simplify things for yourself, you know? Simplify things. I'm using the MAC 168 brush. Mine's has been through some things. It was white once upon a time. So I like to use more Blunt than I do Swiss Chocolate. So I swirl in Blunt and dab in Swiss Chocolate and deposit it right under the cheekbone. We got a little contourage going right there. Yeah. This is probably more than I would like it to be, but I'm going out, so why not be a little extra? I'm gonna go into the Blunt and go around the edges just to kind of warm up the face. So whatever's left on the brush, I like to sweep on the side of my nose. And that's another place where I don't like, again, a whole lot of product, because this nose of mine, when I tell you it's oily and oxidizes things, it makes things look way more pronounced than they have to be. And those little lines that some of my sisters that be out there rocking on their nose. It just don't be cute. Like, I can't. I hate a nose contour. Jeez Louise. So I'm gonna just rock the one that God gave me, but you know, put a little something there just for kicks. Alright, so if you notice, I did my contour a little bit more blown out than your average, just because I don't like blush. Just never been a blush girl. So we're only gonna stick with some highlight. Now my highlighter though, my highlighting game be on point. I use about 3 different highlighters and you're gonna see. So I am going to start with my first highlighter, and that is going to be Cheeky Bronze by MAC, using my this is a new brush, the 240S brush. So when we came out with this synthetic line, they came out with this new brush, and this is pretty freaking bomb for everything. It's good to set underneath the eye if you like, good for highlighting. Because it's synthetic, you can actually blend out cream products. It's good for everything. So I'm going to place it right there, right there, right. And because I don't wear blush, I like to make sure that my contour and this highlighter is blended. So I'll go back with nothing on the brush, but whatever's left on it, and kind of help blend those two. So for my second highlighter, going to be using Superb and Extreme Dimension highlighter. I love this highlighter. It, at least on deeper skin tones, it almost makes the skin look wet, and I love that look. Like, I love a dewy look that's not dewy. Like, that is bomb to me, and this highlighter gets it every time. And I like pairing it with this color because the Cheeky Bronze gives me like the glow, but this one gives me the wetness, and it's like, oh, look at that. Already, like, ugh. I'm so sick of myself. Like, look at that. Alrighty, so for my third and final highlighter, I am going to be using that Fenty, y'all. I love y'all some Fenty, boy. It's okay, because I do too. Only certain things. Like this. So this is, of course, the How Many Carats. I didn't even know that's what this was called. The Diamond Bomb How Many Carats highlighter. And I like this because it is a very translucent glitter highlight. So this is not something I will go ham with. This is something I like to use as a topper for other things. I put this on my eyes. But it looks beautiful with this highlighter combination. Hopefully I can fix the lighting so you can see it. Probably see it better. Okay, so I know y'all are all for, you know, like that nose highlight and the Cupid's bow, so we gonna do that, you know, to please the people, but I'm gonna do that with the Cheeky Bronze because it's more subtle. We ain't walking around like no Tin Mans around here in 2019, okay sis? No Tin Mans. So back with that Cheeky Bronze, I'm gonna put a little bit on the button of your nose, and you only place this in areas where light naturally hits you. You don't have to put it all the way down your nose. So right on the button and right on the bridge is the only place. And right here on the Cupid's bow. All right. So we coming together. Brows. Alrighty, so I'm gonna get a little bit closer because the way I like to do my brows, you have to really get into this thing. I like to comb them down first. outline the shape of my brow. And I'm using spiked eyebrow pencil, the new one. So I have the shape at the top. Now I can comb them back. Now I'm taking, what is this? The MAC Shape and Shade Brow Tint. I only really use the marker side. This is gonna give me like hair-like strokes for the areas where I don't have so much hair. So this goes on pretty opaque. So what I like to do is go a little crazy with it, take my finger and push it in, and it tones it down. So it already looks really natural and defined at the same time. Okay, so what makes this a boy brow is because boys have beautiful brows, don't they? They're full, but right here you can still see the naturalness of them. So they're not so like, you know, arched when we go get our eyebrows waxed and stuff like that. I like that. I like those hairs there. It's kind of hard to see, but whatever. So I like to emphasize those hairs. Because again, this is an 80s look, and it was always about natural brows. In the 80s, like, give me a good Brooke Shields brow and I am in love with you all day. Okay, so brows are done. Now I'm going to move right along with the lip. So I am going to do a red lip today because my shoes are going to be red and my jacket is going to be red, and I just want to do a red lip. You know what I mean? So I will be using today in Retrograde liquid lipstick by MAC. This was limited edition, so good luck finding it. If you do find it, let me know so I can buy 3 more. Super like metallic red lip, and this is a very rare find. Like, it's beautiful, very popular when it came out, and I wish I would have bought like 10 more. The lip liner I'm going to be using is the Nevermore from the Aaliyah collection. I'm using this because it's super freaking dark. Like, it's the darkest lip liner I've ever seen in my life. That's not an eyeliner. It's not black, but it's like eggplant. It's gonna be a good base for this red lipstick. So I'm going to overlap the liner with lipstick. And it begins to blend all on its own. Okay, now she's ready. Alright, so I almost forgot to do some under eye eyeshadow. So I'm taking my 239 brush and just the tip of it going into that red eyeshadow. And I'm going to sweep that under my eye. I'm going to take an angle brush and go into that black And only halfway am I going to place that, connecting it with that black line right there. Oh, you know what? I was going to go halfway. I think I'm going to go all the way. Why not? Can you see the difference? Going back with that black track eyeliner. And my 210. I'm going to line my waterline. I like it to be, especially when I do a smoky eye, I like it to be super black underneath here. Super black. I'm also going to take that at the top, my top waterline. I find it easier to use a gel eyeliner to do tight lining. That's what that's called, when you put eyeliner at the top of your eye. It's called waterline. I mean, tight lining. Jeez Louise, I can't talk. And this is making my eyes water so much right now. Normally I'd be good. It's probably because I've been drinking. Let's do a little bit of bottom lash mascara, because bottom lash mascara matters. And my favorite is the upward lash. I like to use the tip of it to literally paint on the mascara, because I like chunky bottom line mascara. Alrighty, so I'm gonna get myself together and I'll be right back to show you the complete look. Alright, so here is the final look of my Kicking It 80s style. You know, real conservative, Black Panther-ish. You know what I'm saying? Black queen of the 80s look. Let's get into it. So I hope each and every one of you enjoyed my video. I know I talk a lot. Me getting into the YouTube game has been a long time coming, and I am finally motivated. I won't say I'm very prepared, but we're gonna get it done. It's gonna be fun, and I hope you are ready to enjoy this ride with me. Please subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that stuff that YouTube people say. Do all of that stuff for me, please. Until next time, bye. Peace. This is how you know when your makeup is built to last long. Honey, it is 2 o'clock in the morning and we still look as beat as we did at 10 o'clock. Like, hello? Get into it. This is why I do the things that I do. You know what I mean? Look at that. Highlights still popping. Woo! Makeup still fresh. Ain't an oil in sight. The stuff that I use for a purpose. Use your things for a purpose, ladies. Don't just use it because you saw somebody on YouTube use it. Okay? Use the things that work for you. Use the things that work for you. That's all I have to say. Like, hello? Hello?